Before starting, I want to thank you all. The support in the last few weeks has been amazing, and I'm really happy that you like what I do. So anyway, let's roll the video. Welcome back to Bad Movie Video Games. Today's guest is James Cameron's Avatar the video game. This game and I have a story. Basically, you know, as most kids, I was delusional and convinced that the movie Avatar was the coolest thing in the world. And to some extent, I was right. At least at the time. So imagine the level of hype when I found out that there was a game about the movie. And I played it back then, and it was cool as Shrek. So let's put it in and see if it was as good as my childish ass thought it was. Trophy-wise, we have a problem. As every game from the 2010s, this one was forced to have multiplayer. Don't ask me why, but back then every game had to have a multiplayer mode. So obviously I'm not going to lose my time with an old ass game if I can get the platinum. So I started with the multiplayer trophies. Now obviously these game servers are as dead as the Reddit or social life. Luckily, through PSN profiles I reached one of the last guys who got the platinum. This guy, the GOAT. So I texted him, and he told me how to enter a private server for this game. So basically I had to go to network settings, and here we have to use this primary and secondary DNS. Now we can go start a game and the multiplayer will magically work. Now I wanted to start by the most annoying trophy, and in this case it will be Bring On All Comers. That consists on playing 150 multiplayer matches. As you can already guess, this is absolute madness. But luckily there's a way to do this alone and faster. Basically you have to make a private match, make it public, wait the 30 seconds and then wait 10 more seconds to enter the match, and then quit. Rinse and repeat and I should have the trophy, right? Well, I even used a counter and did this 170 times, and the trophy did not pop. Luckily, while I was about to lose my mind, Wendell appeared once again and offered me help to get the other trophies as I figured out how to get that one. So the easiest trophy on the list was Flawless Victory. So we enter a capture the flag map and I captured his flag 3 times in a row, which popped the trophy. Next, we went to a team deathmatch, where I killed him 10 times in a row for the trophy I got is upon us. And at the end of the match, I got the trophy The Enemy's Bane for finishing the match with the most kills. Afterwards, we went to the final battle match, where as the humans we must defend the missiles. So we just went AFK for 10 minutes, and when the match ended, I got the trophy Destructive Preservation. In another map, but in the same game mode, I went as the Navi, where we are supposed to defend some crystals. So as we did before, we stay AFK, and when the match ended, I got the trophy Pandora's Protector. For the next trophy, we went to a capture and hold match, and as he stayed AFK, I won 5 games in a row. Once I finished them all, I got the trophy The Conqueror. For the next trophy I had to do exactly the same, but on the Navi side on the King of the Hill matches. So I did, and got the trophy Central Focus. Now this too doesn't seem that much of a problem, but in reality the poor guy Wendell had to wait around 1 hour for me to get these 2 trophies. And he didn't tell me, but I know for a fact that he was really tired. Plus it was like 2 AM at that point, so thanks to Wendell for helping me. He really put on quite a few hours just to help a complete stranger. So you know, leave a nice comment on the comment section for Wendell. Come on, do it! Now remember that trophy I couldn't get? Well, clearly the strategy from PSN profiles did not work for me, so I went looking on the dark side of the internet. The Xbox 360 achievements guides. Oh my god, how could he do that? And there I found this guide from a guy called Dravik, where he says that the best option is to make a private match, enter the game and quit, without making it public or waiting. So I did that 120 times, and the trophy finally popped up. But there's no time to celebrate, we still have a whole game to play. So we pick our character, set the name and start the game. So in a brief introduction, we learn that our character is called Ryder and we are a signals specialist. And I'm just going to say it now. Our character makes the worst Marvel jokes you ever heard, and he does it every time he talks with someone.
You're heading for some willow tree?
That's exactly where I'm headed.
So you a high-tech botanist or something?
Or something.
Anyway, we land in Hell's Gate and go straight to meet Dr. Monroe, who needs our expertise for something. But first we test our avatar, so we get in the machine and have a brief avatar moment, taken straight out from the movie. Anyway, we go back to the boring human form and go meet Falco, who is this crazy sergeant here that basically takes the spot for Quaritch. So we talk with him and get the trophy Orientation Day Graduate. Now Falco sends us to the Blue Lagoon, where we must find a traitor between the lines. So we land in the Blue Lagoon and they send us to help a guy in the jungle. So we go help him and he sends us to put a signal emitter supposedly to track Navi activity on one of their villages. And I got the trophy Digital Bookworm for getting 20 entries on the Pandorapedia. Anyway, we put the beacon on its place and then go back to the base to become the errand guy. After doing some boring work, we finally get to use your avatar. And oof, my man, you are as ugly as hunger. So they send us to help Dr. Harper, another avatar that seems suspiciously rebellious. What could that mean? So, you know how in a lot of RPGs there are these boring missions where they send us to literally pick up flowers? Well, that's our first mission as an avatar, and they make us do it at least 4 times in all the game. Well, after completing said mission, we met with Harper when a storm beast appears and gets put down by Tangela, who sent us to kill 6 storm beasts in the valley. While we finish that mission, the RDA attacks a Navi village. After that, we go straight to Commander Falco, who tells us to follow Tangela, since he is the link to the traitor that we were looking for. So we follow him and find out that the mole was Harper. What a surprise. So Harper tells us how we are responsible for the Navi village being attacked, since the beacon we placed was not a tracker, but a marker to where they needed to shoot. So anyway, Harper joined the Navi and he asked us to do the same thing. And this was one of the cool things about this game. You have 2 campaigns, one with the RDA and another one with the Navi. So for the first run, I'm going to choose the RDA. So I attacked Harper, and when he is cornered, he shoots and kills our avatar. We get the trophy wars began for finishing the first level, and we officially start the RDA storyline.
Ryder, I order you to shoot Harper.
So the story goes a bit like this. Ryder and Kendra are attacked while flying through Pandora, so Ryder is tasked to go to a nearby RDA station to look for a new helicopter. When arriving at the station, we talk to the commander, who grants us a chopper that we use to save Kendra. Once she's safe, we go back to the station and talk to Dr. Monroe, who explains that they are in the look for a place called the Well of Souls. That is like a more powerful version of the Tree of Souls from the movie, which will grant the RDA power over all species in Pandora. So in order to find this well, they need us to locate unobtainium shards. Yes, they put all they got on that name. These shards will help us to activate the willow trees, from where we will take the harmonics, another kind of crystal that will then guide us to the dormant Well of Souls. So on our way we go and find the 3 shards in each corner of the map. Then we take it to the old willow tree, where we are going to place the unobtainium shards on a triangular pattern. Once done, we will have our first harmonic. And yes, I said first, cause we have to do this 3 more times, but on different levels. So we go back to Hell's Gate to talk to Dr. Monroe, who asks us to upload the first harmonic to the emulator, a device that will allow the RDA to hack Awa, the entity that bonds and controls everything on Pandora, and sever the bond with the Navi. So we go in the look for the other harmonics that are located in 2 different levels, the FIVA and Graves Bog. In the FIVA, we serve as the errand guy for a bunch of soldiers before finally retrieving the crystals. One of the only cool things about this level is that we find a hammerhead, but he's just a bullet sponge, so in the end there's nothing special about it. We also fight one of the big dogs that in the movie not even a Navi could take down, but now suddenly a simple soldier kills it with just bullets, which is just lazy to be honest. Anyway, we take the shards and put them in the willow tree to get the second harmonic. Once in Hell's Gate again, we deliver it to Monroe, who is preoccupied about the consequences of messing with Awa and the emulator. But never mind that, Falco sends us to the bug, where you know how it goes. Errand guy, unobtainium shards, willow tree. But this time at the willow tree we kill Tangela. You know, the Navi from the beginning. So once again we take the harmonic and go back to Hell's Gate, and Monroe tells us that Commander Falco is losing his mind and threatening him with death, and puts us on the mission to operate the emulator, since if not used correctly it will destroy the planet. Now we are sent to the Hanging Gardens to kill Harper, but also to pick 3 shards again. So while we do the most boring errands you can imagine, we take the shards and hunt for Harper as we kill some rogue avatars. After taking the 3 shards we find the willow tree, where luckily we also find Harper, so we kill his avatar as well as his human self. Back to Hell's Gate we locate the dormant Well of Souls, and also we learn that Falco went rogue, killed Monroe and took the emulator. So we fly to the plains of Goliath, where the Well of Souls is. Once in the plains of Goliath, we have a brief appearance of Miles Quaritch, the colonel from the movies, who sends us to kill some Navi captains. There we reach Suata, who gives us the option to join the Navi on the final battle, which of course we decline, cause human race for the win baby, and we kill him in the most stupid way, by throwing him off the mountain. So anyway, we go back looking for Falco, so we have to go to Tantalus, where we use a dragon to reach the Well of Souls, which is pretty cool, I'ma be honest. So we finally reach the dormant Well of Souls, and Falco is activating the emulator, but it explodes for some reason. So we kill Falco and activate the emulator ourselves. That effectively severs the bond of the Navi with Awa, so they can't use the planet animals and flora to their advantage. So well, that is the summary of the RDA plotline. And you might be asking, well, where are the trophies?
Where is it? Where's the rest? Where is the money?
Well, after finishing each level we get a trophy, so by finishing the RDA side we got 7 trophies. The first harmonic for finishing the Needle Hills, harmonic in the FIVA for finishing, well, the FIVA, Graves Bog harmonic for finishing Graves Bog, 2 traitor cleanup for unaliving Harper's allies, Hasta la Vista Harper for sending Harper to hell, Ryder owns Goliath for finishing the plains of Goliath, and the battles won for finishing the game on the RDA side. Now, the trophy Jack of all skills requires us to use every rank 4 ability 20 times, so the game has this ability system where you can use 4 at a time out of 7 abilities. So you have like running, stun grenade, healing and stuff. So these abilities start at rank 1, and when you reach the end, they are at rank 4. So I loaded the last save and sat there for 1 hour and tracked every ability use. Now there's also a problem. The most powerful abilities have a very long recharging time. so to avoid it we must travel from level to level each time we use them to charge them faster. So at the end I got the Jack of all skills trophy. Now I'm going to summarize the next 6 trophies. Each level has sector challenges. They are secondary completion objectives within each sector. Simple stuff like rebuild the whole map, kill this many enemies and so on. The only thing that may cause problems are some objectives that are too specific. For example, AMP suit scavenging, where we must find destroyed AMP suits scattered in the whole sector. Now luckily there's an easy bypass to this. That is just simply quit the game every time you get one, so you can go back and get the same one again. Rinse and repeat and it's done. So once we complete 100% on each one, we'll be getting side trophies for each level. Now it's time for the good stuff. The Navi storyline. So you know, new character and we skip all the first part to the point where we have to choose a side. And of course we choose the Navi. Now we move to a Navi settlement with Harper. And right from the start I'm going to tell you that playing as a Navi is 10 times better than human. You can really see that they put much more effort on this line. Which makes me think, why did they bother to make 2 campaigns? They could have made a great Navi only story and gameplay. Anyway, sadly the storyline is the same as the other one, but mirrored. We still are the errand guy, we still have to collect the same unobtainium crap, get the harmonics and shit, but this time around we do it for the Navi. But anyway, Harper goes on a mission to retrieve both his and our human bodies, and in the meantime we defend the Navi village from the RDA forces. And for the purpose of obtaining the trophy weapon of choice, I use mostly the bow to fight. In the story there's this whole back and forth with Beidamo, a leader Navi who doesn't trust us, and this dynamic continues till the end of the game. So anyway, we are tasked to find our own Ikran to become a Navi, so we go to the floating mountains to get one, and we get the most ridiculous scene of the game. I think they wanted to make this funny or something, but that doesn't matter, flying on an Ikran is really cool anyway. So as we defend the valley from the RDA, around the first hour I got the trophy weapon of choice for getting 100 kills with the bow. In the climax of this level the village is attacked by a dragon, so we are sent to take it down. Once we do, 3 more dragons appear and attack the link in beds, waking up Ryder from the bed. Ryder and Harper's human bodies were injured, and they only can save Ryder by doing the thing from the movie where they change their human body for the avatar, but Harper died in the process. And we get the trophy Did We Win? For finishing the first level. And I learned my lesson and went back to get the 100% and pop the trophy Ignimaya Clean Sweep. So here's where we are tasked to look for the unobtainium shards, to get the songs from the Willow Trees, to locate the Well of Souls, to defend it from the Falco and the RDA. And as I said, in general it's kind of the same. We set up as the errand guy for the Navi as we look for the shards, and once we get the songs from the Willow Trees, we sing them with the crazy old lady back at the village. So we look for the next 2 songs and get the respective trophies for the level, but also the trophies for completing the challenges. Now when looking for the last song, the RDA destroys every unobtainium shard we find, so at the end we can't retrieve the song. That's when Ryder miraculously obtains the song through AWA or something like that, cause turns out we have the spirit of the first voice, or some Deus Ex Machina like that. That's when Ryder finally wins the Trust of Beidamo, and we get the trophy for the song and the one for completing all challenges, to finally get the Pandora Clean Sweep trophy for cleaning every level, both in the RDA and the Navi side. With the last song we get the location of the Well of Souls. Back at the Navi hideout, Kendra, the one from the RDA campaign, betrays the RDA and tells us about Falco going crazy, and taking the emulator to the Well of Souls. So we are, of course, as the first voice, the only being capable of activating the Well of Souls, sent to stop Falco. And we do, by magically being able to ride the Toruk, which will also transform us into Turuk Makto, as in the movie. Thank god this game is in canon. Anyway, we stop Falco and activate the dormant Well of Souls. Finishing the game and obtaining the trophy More Tautute will come, for finishing the game on the Navi side. Now that I finished the game, I went back to the last save and in one of the traveling points I accessed the minigame Conquest. That is basically a mode where we have to buy assets to attack the RDA and obtain control over Pandora. Now for the last trophy, Turn the Tide, we must get 50% of the control of the planet. So since I finished the game, I have more than 100,000 credits. The go-to strategy is to buy all warriors that we can, and send about 40 to 50,000 to attack. No one will ever beat us, so there's no actual strategy needed. Eventually I reached the 50% mark and got the trophy, as well of course as the platinum. Platinum-wise, this is not a hard platinum by any means. The only hard thing about it is finding someone to get the multiplayer trophies, which again, thanks to Wendell for helping me. And about the game, it's a solid 7 I will say. I mean, it's a movie game, this is as good as it gets. Do I recommend playing it? Not really. It's insufferably repetitive and there are much better games to put your time into. That's why you have me to platinum these games. Don't get me wrong though, it's still a pretty cool game, but I feel that the only way to truly enjoy it is to be a fan of the Avatar universe. Anyway, thanks for watching, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe and all that, and I hope to see you in the next one.